Okay, so this series of videos will be made without the use of the internet due to the fact that I had my internet disconnected recently. So if you'll bear with me, I'll just fill you in on some details here. And unfortunately, there's no internet, so we're going to make the best use of what I have here. So here we go. This video is basically on negative energy harvesting and harvesting sadness on behalf of the Illuminati. The Illuminati do such a thing. When you go to a rock concert, let's say the Tomorrowland Festival, they're harvesting energy at the festival. They're harvesting the crowd's energy towards the stage. You'll see what I mean. It's like the stage is like an altar almost. They're also harvesting energy surrounding the deaths of celebrities and the deaths of very important people. So we'll begin here, and also the deaths of commoners too. It's so we'll get into a little bit of this here. So one of the ways that they're harvesting sadness, or one of their methods of harvesting sadness, I should say, is the Illuminati's Club 27. The Illuminati harvest the sadness surrounding the deaths of various celebrities who are 27 years old, who happen to die at 27 years old, and they probably are putting that energy towards demons, let's say, or some sort of negative entity. So this is something I wrote in a previous letter to someone. So here's what we have here. We have, when reading my Bible notes, you need to know about the Illuminati's Club 27, I say, and then it's this club is a club that murdered celebrities get into when they die at age 27. Jimi Hendrix, Jim Morrison, Janis Joplin, Kurt Cobain, Heath Ledger, and Amy Winehouse were all murdered at the age of 27. Their deaths are sometimes made to look like accidents, but in reality they were murdered. The Illuminati work with sacred numbers. They like the number 27 because there are 27 books in the New Testament. Significantly, in Matthew 27, Christ gets murdered. After Matthew 27, I noticed that any mention of the number 27 usually has something evil occurring in the text. So that's what I've noticed in the Bible, and why the Illuminati selected Club 27, or the age of 27, to select for when these celebrities get murdered. I mean, think of that, these celebrities all died young, and in some cases they're questionable circumstances. I mean, Jimi Hendrix, you could poison him. I mean, he supposedly choked on his own vomit, he might have been poisoned. Same with Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger might have been poisoned somehow. Let's see what else we got here. Kurt Cobain was possibly a hoax from what Russian Vid says on his channel. He's not really dead, possibly. I don't know too much about Janis Joplin, but she's a part of Club 27 as well. Amy Winehouse, I kind of forgot how she died because I don't have the internet connected right now, but she's part of this club. So you get what I mean. When these people die, people are really sad. The Illuminati harvest this energy, the sadness surrounding their death, and they point it towards negative entities like demons. It's negative energy harvesting is what it is. So we have that. And how this relates to me is basically based on the fact that they do something similar to me, where they're making me think, where they're putting pieces of my life in the death of celebrities. But these celebrities, in many cases, in the contemporary they live in, are not really dead. They're just faking their deaths right now. So luckily, Club 27 is actually, this club right over here is kind of not on the way out, I'd say, but it doesn't really happen too much anymore. The new director that they have in Hollywood, the director of their cult, I should say, does not seem to want to do Club 27 as much as the older director did. I'm of the opinion that there's a new director involved in Hollywood. With, I had to get a sip of water there. With, so what they did was, instead, rather than actually killing the celebrities like they did with Club 27, the new thing that they're doing is the celebrities are all faking, these celebrities up here all fake their own deaths, and these are the celebrities that involve me in their hoaxes in some way, shape, or form, in the hoax of their death. And the reason why they're faking their own death is probably many reasons. I mean, for one, it has to do with the fact that when you're rich, you know, you don't want to be bothered anymore. So you kind of drop off the face of the earth, and, like, you know, they just want to go into retirement, basically. The other thing is that they're harvesting negative energy due to the fact that people, let's say, liked Robin Williams a lot. Robin Williams dying, people were let down. And same with Michael Jackson, too. They were let down. You know, they were real sad over it and contrite. So we have that. So the one thing to look into here is that we have, let's just get into it. We have Robin Williams. So Robin Williams, we're going to pause the video and we'll take a break for one. Okay, so one of the reasons why I'm in the death of, let's say, Robin Williams is due to the fact that the Illuminati are kind of trying to terrorize me a bit, due to the fact that I should be punished in another way, and this is the way that they selected to punish me. I should be incarcerated. Instead, I am placed in kind of limbo, in which they kind of mess with me every now and then and harass me. So one of the ways in which they harass me is by placing pieces of my life, or the things that I do on a daily basis, in the deaths of various celebrities, such as these right here. And one of the songs, let's say, that they're working off of is this song by Thursday called Porcelain. I wish I had all the lyrics here, but these are the ones I do have off the top of my head. And it goes like this, for this one lyric: when people die, they take a piece of us with them. What they're saying by that is that it's an Illuminati song, basically. It's when people die that know the Illuminatis, because I'm regarded as a de facto member of the Illuminati, a piece of us goes with them. And this happened with one of my ex-girlfriends. I'll bring that up in a later video, how that works, how pieces of me are involved with the murder. But we'll get into that later. But I'll show you how this lyric right here, this shows that with me, my case is not unique. This is something that occurs with the Illuminati, because remember from previous videos I had that all pop songs are written, most pop songs I should say, are written by the Illuminati for the Illuminati. So this is an internal message, even though it's meant to have multiple meanings, which is pretty much the design of it. They like to kill multiple birds with one stone whenever they do something. So every time when they kill someone, a piece of, an Illuminati member is possibly involved with the murder somehow, and that's how they do it. That's how they roll. So we'll get into how Robin Williams died. With Robin Williams, I noticed that pieces of my early adolescence, or let's say maybe age 15, were in his supposed suicide, because the same suicide that he had, well, this is based off of using the Vigilant Christian channel's video on him. This is where I got this information from, in which it states that Robin Williams died from hanging himself. They couldn't quite tell how he hung himself, though. They were wondering whether or not he hung himself from a doorknob or from some other means. But the thing is, in that video, the means in which they say that he hung himself on, the various ways in which he hung himself on, were alluding to ways in which I was contemplating killing myself when I was younger. So it's very scary. It's like, okay, here's pieces of myself involved inside Robin Williams' suicide, in a suicide that I was contemplating a long time ago, and it's kind of ridiculous. It's like, it is really creepy and really scary when they have this many pieces of my life recorded, and then they put them in his death. His death never really happened, though. He's not really dead, by the way, so he just faked his own death. And the reason why they might have had doorknob as a possibility, on the Vigilant Christians video, why they selected doorknob as a possibility for him to hang a noose from, is due to the fact that the door is like a gateway almost, it's alluding to a gateway. But the other thing that he was going to hang himself from was something else that I was contemplating hanging myself from, and this is kind of ridiculous, that like that's in there. And I can't remember what it was off the top of my head, because I don't have the internet and I don't quite recall. So you can check out the videos. It's the Vigilant Christians Illuminati exposed, kind of like Robin Williams' death kind of thing. So we'll move on from there. So, and here's pieces of, sometimes I'm actually not, pieces of, for the next couple celebrities, I'm not in their death, so to say, but I am in their, I was thinking about them, which is why they suddenly end up dead, which is totally creepy and totally bizarre. So anyway, so with Anton Yelchin, I was thinking about him one day, and it was right before he died. It's always how their method works. It's predictive. Well, not predictive. I'm predicting their deaths by doing things on a day-to-day basis. So Anton Yelchin died by a car hitting him, supposedly, and it wasn't in park at all. It rolled down a hill and hit him, and he was standing near a brick wall, and it somehow killed him, right? Which does sound kind of ridiculous. It is because it is ridiculous. It's incredible. The story is not real. It's a hoax. So he faked his own death, basically. I was thinking about him days before, or a week or two, I should say, before he died. I was wondering who he was, and I kind of forgot his name. And I said, "Oh yeah, who's that guy from the Star Wars movies?" and from what's that movie? Oh man, well I forgot the name of the movie. He's in a lot of movies. He's in the Star Wars movie, Star Wars series movies, the new Star Wars series. I'm trying to remember the name of that one movie. I can't remember off the top of my head. But anyway, yeah. So he's that's his death. So that's why he was somehow selected to die, which is kind of ridiculous. And now he's probably working with them behind the scenes, doing things. And I kind of saw him at one of my old jobs right before he died, supposedly, which is kind of bizarre. But he's not really dead, though, you know? So it's not really that bizarre because he faked his own death. The guy's not dead. So it's kind of designed to creep me out, you know? And then with Richard Thicke, I actually vaguely remember, I was thinking about him, basically. He was a guy from Growing Pains and a lot of other 80s TV, you know, mostly Growing Pains, I should say. He's in that TV show, Growing Pains. So I was thinking about him. That's why he died. And then with Alan Colmes, I was thinking about him. He's a journalist. He works for Fox News. I was thinking about a class I had in college, my English 1 class, in which we discussed Fox News, and Alan Colmes was one of the people featured in the video, and I was thinking about him. And right before he died, you know, and then he suddenly dies, like, you know, a week later or so. He's not really dead. They just faked his death just to, you know, frustrate me a little and harass me a bit. And it sounds kind of crazy, but this is what they're doing. They're harvesting negative energy from me now, because I'm now like, okay, this is bizarre. This isn't right. It's basically energy harvesting. So he's not really dead either, most likely. He faked his own death. With Chris Cornell, I wasn't really too sure of how he died, but I think his story sounded like kind of like BS. His story was, I think, suicide. And you see the CC, the 33 in his name, too, as well. 33 is a hoax code because they associate the death of Christ with lying. So this is another killing multiple birds with one stone with Chris Cornell. Chris Cornell, by the way, was the guy. He was the lead singer from Soundgarden, and he had his own band called Audioslave. The reason why, one of the reasons why he was selected to die is due to the fact that I was thinking about him as well. I was listening to his song Like a Stone by Audioslave, and, you know, I was getting really into it and trying to analyze it a bit. And then, like, you know, maybe like a couple days later or so, he ends up dead. He's not really dead at all. So that's pretty much the name of the game. He didn't commit suicide. And then with we have Glenn Headley, who is basically, she's in the movie, what's the name? The Jerk, I believe, right? With Martin, no, what's his name? Not Martin Sheen. Well, I forget the name of them. I forget the other actors in the movie now. At this point in time, I'm drawing a blank. What's the name? I got his name off the top of my head. Martin. Well, I don't quite remember the name, but she's from the Dick Tracy movies. The Dick Tracy movie in the 90s. She's also from the movie The Jerk. So anyway, she died at age 63. And right before she died, I was looking into the number 36 on some notes I was taking, because the number 36 is like a hidden 666. So, and she died at age 36. So that's kind of where you had it, and had that. That's kind of how that happened. She, you know, I was just doing some little note things, and then they happen to end up dead. So she's probably not really dead either. So this is the case. They're just faking their deaths right now. And so that's the world we live in, you know. It's kind of sad. It's kind of sad that they're harvesting energy and putting it towards something that we're not really too aware of, nor can we really see. So I hope you have a good day, and may God bless.